Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Couz's Corner. Let's talk Mountaineer sports. First of all, I want to start off with some really good news for Mountaineer fans. Our beloved coach Bob Huggins today apparently signed a contract extension that will keep him at WVU until he retires. This is not necessarily a surprise for us, but nonetheless it's good news. We know Huggy Bear's going to stick around a while. This was reported by 24/7 Sports. Now let's move on to football and some more conference news. Every day there seems like there's something new coming out. Today there's two things I want to talk about. Number one, Chris Torello from My 9 News is reporting that UCF has apparently been pursued by the Big 12 Conference about joining. He says they're cautiously optimistic, but I think they're wanting to be patient because they're a little concerned about the future of the Big 12 Conference. So we'll see where that goes. So apparently there is some action there. So the Big 12 is doing something, not just sitting on their hands according to this report. UCF is one of the schools that's been talked about as one of the potential teams to replace Oklahoma and Texas. And in my opinion, one of the better choices. If you're going to pick someone, it gives you the state of Florida, gets you in that state, which you're not in at the moment. For West Virginia, it gives us another East Coast team to play. Be a little easier travel than going to the other schools in the Big 12. Florida's still not real close, but it's closer. And I think it could help. It might give us a rival at some point. It could be a good rivalry, assuming West Virginia stays in the conference, of course. And the other news that I want to touch on is the news that the Pac-12 announced today that they have officially made the decision not to expand. This is not really a shock necessarily. This alliance, when they made this alliance with the ACC and the Big Ten, a lot of people predicted that meant the conferences wouldn't expand. The Pac-12 is the first one to come out and publicly say they're not going to expand. Do I think that's a good thing for West Virginia or a bad thing? Well, I think it could really go either way. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that West Virginia still can't get in the ACC, because this alliance doesn't mean they're all in one conference. They're still three separate conferences, and I'm sure they still can make their own decisions. But I think by doing this alliance, one of the arguments was, by doing this alliance, there's no need to expand it anymore because they're now going to have more chance at more lucrative TV contracts, better schedules to play. The conferences will be playing one another. A positive there in the scheduling of the games. So that they don't see the Pac-12 doesn't see the need to expand at the moment. They're happy with 12 teams. They're happy with the 12 teams they have, and they don't see that the adding teams from the Big 12 is going to benefit them at all. And George Kliavkoff, the commissioner, also said that if they expand, then it means the Big 12 would fall apart, and that means that it's going to be total chaos. They apparently want the Big 12 to survive. They think it would be better for college football and for the stability of the sport, or for college athletics as a whole, not just football. But we all know it revolves around football, right? Because that's where the money comes in. But they think it would be better for college athletics if the Big 12 stays intact. And I kind of agree with that to an extent. Is it in West Virginia's best interest? I don't know. Probably not. It would be in their best interest if they can get out. But I'll be honest, guys, the longer this goes, I'll be honest, I don't see West Virginia getting out of the Big 12 right now. I don't think the other conferences are going to want them. I don't think the ACC is going to want them now that they've made this alliance. I don't think there's a need. I don't think they're going to feel the need to now, unless Notre Dame decides to join full time, and then they need another team to add with them. But other than that, I just don't, and I don't think Notre Dame's going to feel the need to do that now either with this alliance, because they're now going to have the advantage. They're in that alliance too because they're part of the ACC and other sports. So why would they need to join a conference now? They're going to have the scheduling advantage along with the other schools anyway. So why join it if you don't have to? They can keep their NBC money and not have to worry about it. So I just don't see it happening. The Big 12, I think, is going to stay together. I really do. I think they're going to find a way to figure this out. I think at the end of the day, I think what's going to happen is the Big 12 is going to end up adding some teams. They're going to stay together, and I think they have a shot of keeping their Power 5 conference status. I mean, they're going to lose TV money. They're not going to be able to make the same money without Texas and Oklahoma in the conference. But if they can keep their Power 5 status, they might still be able to make $20, $25 million a team. Now that ain't near as much as $37 million a team that they were making before, but it's still better than $9 million, which is what the AAC is making, or it may even be less than $9 million. The non-Power 5 conferences are making under $10 million per year, per team. The Big 12 is still in much better shape, even without Texas and Oklahoma, than any of the Group of 5 conferences. So I just don't see that, unless the conference just totally falls apart and they're not able to add teams or do anything, I don't see them losing it. And according to I was listening to an interview today, Max Olsen from The Athletic, who's been really covering this stuff really aggressively and really well. He's one of the most highly respected reporters out there. I heard an interview today with him. He was on 365 Sports today doing an interview with those fellas, and he talked about the Power 5 and what it means to be a Power 5 conference. You don't just lose your Power 5 conference status because you only have 8 teams or because you all of a sudden lose Texas and Oklahoma. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not a Power 5 conference anymore. The NCAA declared who the 5 Power 5 conferences were several years ago, and Big 12 was on that list. And it's according to Max Olsen, it's his understanding that there would have to be a legislative change done for the Big 12 to get voted out as a Power 5 conference. And I don't know that would happen. I don't know if it's the NCAA that votes, if it's the other conferences. I'm not sure how that works exactly. But it's not just as simple as, hey, they're not a Power 5 conference anymore because Texas and Oklahoma's not there. It's not. That ain't the way it works. So let's cool our jets. Let's let this thing play out. Football season's coming. We're going to get to watch games and hopefully forget about all this crap. It's fun to talk about. I love talking about it every day. I think we're getting all worked up and nervous over nothing. Let it play out. See what happens. And let the chips fall where they may. And I still think WVU is going to be okay. They might make a little less money every year, but they'll be okay. Shane Lyons and Gordon Gee will figure that out. They started the Time to Climb campaign last year to try to raise more money so that average folks like myself could afford to be MAC members and make payments every month versus making large payouts, stuff like that. They're thinking outside the box. And I think that's what it's going to take for West Virginia to remain a viable Power 5 level team. So I think we're in good hands, so I'm not real worried about it. I love talking about it. I love listening to the news about it, following it. It's fun to follow. But I've gotten past the point of I was excited and oh boy, we're getting ACC. Now I'm kind of like, maybe we're not getting ACC, but you know what? That's okay. We can live with it. At the end of the day, they're my team. It's my home state. I'm going to bleed gold and blue till I die, regardless if they're in the Big 12, the SEC, the ACC, the AAC, the MAC, whatever. I'm going to bleed gold and blue, and I always will. So nothing's going to change that. Well, listen, guys, appreciate you tuning in tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, guys. I really, really would love for you to subscribe to my channel. It helps me. Please like my videos. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. Guys, listen, I have a goal. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Please help me do that. Right now, we've got a long way to go. I need 955 more subscribers. So please help me out, guys. Let's get there. We can do it. I know we can. But I need your help. I need you to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I won't hit my goal. So please help me out, okay? We can do this together. It's not only my goal, it's your goal. Let's do it as a team. I've appreciated all the kind words, comments, support that I've gotten from folks. I appreciate all my subscribers. Smash that like button. Smash it. And subscribe. Subscribe. I'd like to give a shout out to Tommy Tooley. Tommy, I really appreciate you subscribing and I appreciate your support. All right, guys. Peace out.